Jai Jai Shri Harivansh. Welcome everyone to Shri Harivansh Kripa, the grace of Shri Hit Harivansh Mahaprabhuji. So we're having today another satsang, and we'll be discussing Shri Hidruv Ji Maharaj's Shringar Sabha Mandal, which the last time we only got through two lines, so I'm sure this time we'll be able to go through a lot more, and yeah, we'll try to appreciate Shri Hidruv Ji's sweet Vani, the Lilas, and also we'll speak a little bit from Shri Hit Ananya Aliji's Vani. So because he also took the shelter of Shri Hidruv Ji Maharaj so much, so what he says is very much in line. It's like the sequel to Bialis Lila, so we can also relish this as well. So as always, we will do. I'm just gonna do a little Mangalacharan to Shri Harivansh Mahaprabhuji and Shri Radha Vallabhlal, and get the mercy of Shri Gurudev Bhagwan, Shri Harivansh, and Shri Radha Vallabh. श्री प्रेमी रसिक अनन्यनी शिरोमणि के छत्रपति महाराजा श्री हरिवंश चंद्र महामधुर प्रेमामृत सार रसासव पान छकीलो परमरसीलो हसीलो सकल अवतारन को अवतारी सर्वोपरि विराजमान श्री हरिवंशी श्रीवंशी सखी श्री ललितादिक सखिन की सिरमोर श्री लाडली की प्यारी सखी छिन एक होतन न्यारी पहिरे कल जूमक सारी जाके चरण कमल पर शीस नित्य प्रतिदर्त छैल छबीलो लाल बिहारी परमरसीली हसीली मंजुल सुबावनी परमरसीली हसीली मंजुल सुबावनी श्री दंपति की अति प्यारी हितकारी ऐसे श्री व्यासनंदनो जयति ऐसे श्री व्यासनंदनो जयति ऐसे श्री व्यासनंदनो जयति श्री वृंदावन नरेश निकुंज बिहारी परमरसीले हसीले छैल छबीले चिकनय मन मोहने रसीले हसीले छैल छबीले चिकनय मन मोहने ऐसे श्री राधा वल्लभो जयति ऐसे श्री राधा वल्लभो जयति ऐसे श्री राधा वल्लभो जयति श्री गुरुदेव भगवान की जय। जय जय श्री हरिवंश चंद्रजू की जय। जय जय श्री हित सेवक जू महाराज की जय। जय जय श्री रसिक संत श्री हृदुरदास जू महाराज की जय। समस्त सहचरी वृंद की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री जमुना रस रानी की जय। जय जय श्री राधा वल्लभ लाल की जय। जय जय श्री हित हरिवंश। जय जय श्री हित हरिवंश। जय जय श्री हित हरिवंश। So, we're continuing Shri Hidruv Ji Shringar Sabha Mandal, just gonna bring that out. Okay. So in the beginning of the work, Shri Hidrudas Ji Maharaj, he takes shelter of Shri Hit Harivansh Chandra Mahaprabhu Ji's lotus feet. Pratamacharan Harivansh Ji, Urdari Karo Vichar. Jehi Pratap Ye Rasa Kachu, Kehat Buddhi Anusar. That I am taking Shri Harivansh Chandra's lotus feet into my heart. I'm meditating on them within my heart, making a place for them, and with the power of those lotus feet, then I will be able to speak something of this ras, and then he expresses his humility according to whatever capacity I'm able to um, experience that ras and also speak this ras by Shri Harivansh Mahaprabhu and Shri Kishori Ji's kripa. So then he says, Sarvo Pari Adbhuta Saras Shri Vrinda Vipin Vihar Varno Jugal Kishore ko Mandal Sabha Singar. That this ras is the highest. This is Sarvapari. And in the first class we already went over in great detail on how it can be considered from very different perspectives to be the highest, the sweetest ras. And that's why we all here, because we all have this feeling that this is the sweetest thing. So otherwise, we can be doing so many other things and following so many other paths. So this is why we're here. So he said in this Vrinda Vipin Vihar, these plays, these love plays, these frolickings in the divine forest of Sri Vrindavan Dham, what I will describe them. I will describe what Sri Jugal Kishore, what they're doing, and that this Granth I call Mandal Sabha Singar or Shringar Sabha Mandal. But this is, and he will explain why he's named this Granth like this. It will become very clear. So he says, he starts describing now, first of all, Sri Vrindavan Dham. Just like most of the Rasiks, they always lay down the foundation first, and that is the Lila Bhumi, the divine playground of Shama Sham, before they describe what's happening there. If you look at anyone's work, Ananya, Aliji Maharaj, Kavi Karnapur, so on and so on, they all do this. So and he says that Sri Vrindavan Dham is surrounded by Sri Yamunaji. So a very beautiful blue bracelet. And he says Pankti Kunjan Kibani Manju Mandalakar. That all around the Vrindavan's formation is like one kunj, one kunj, one kunj, one kunj. It's like in a chain like this. So different kunjas are around the Yamunaji's bank, and they're in a chain like this. Pankti, all in a line, and they are manju. They are very, very, very pleasant and beautiful, and it's like a mandalakar, manju mandalakar. And he says, actually, I actually have some pictures to show you about this, how it looks. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Oh, one second. Sorry, someone's coming into meeting. Sherry Bunch, welcome. So this is how Vrindavan Dham is. So this is what he's describing. This is a painting based on Shri Harivyas Devacharya's Mahavani, but the description in this Shringar Sava Mandal, this is actually the same. So you'll see here, this is the kundal, the way it's around like a bracelet, and then this is the different kunj like this, and this is the Rangamahal, the primary place, and different Sakhis have the Ashta Sakhis kunjas are here, and then on the outside there would be the Sakhis of the Ashta Sakhis. Will also be there somewhere, and then different kundas, different forests, sub-forests, where Priyalal go for their different leelas, and then also here where after Shringar, Shama Sham are sitting there and they're being adorned by all the Sakhis like this. There's actually quite a few different. There's a few different pictures like this. This is also another one like that, and then also here all these. So I can share these with devotees if they want at some point later on. So very beautiful to meditate on, and also see during Lila Smaran, so one can see where they are in the Lila as well, like this. So Shri Durdas Ji Maharaj is describing Pankti Kunjan Kivani Manju Mandalakar, that the Kunjas, Yamuna Ji is in a circle surrounding the whole of Vrindavan. It's like protecting Sri Vrindavan Dham, like this, Yamuna Ji is. And then the Kunjas are all around. Then he says, Kaha kaho Vrinda Vipin Chavi, Jaha Birahat Sukumar, Patra Patra Sevat Dinhi, Koti Koti Ratimar. That what can I say of the beauty of Shri Vipin? It is the place where even Shama Sham themselves they appreciate it so much, and Jahan Bihirat Sukumar, but this is the place where Shama Sham are eternally playing. So what to speak of this place where they call this place called Vrindavan Dham? This is Patra Patra Sevat Dinahi Koti Koti Ratimar. But here even the leaves, all the leaves, they are being served because the beauty is so much that they're being served by millions and millions, tens of millions of Rati and Mar. So Rati Mar is Kamdev, the material Cupid, and his spouse Rati. So this is showing that even there's so much beauty that even they are there. The idea is that even it is beyond their beauty, which is the sum beauty of this world. So it's even beyond them. So you have in Shriyavansh's Pad, Khelat Ras Dulahni Dulahu, Atilavanya Rupa Abhinaya Guna, Atilavanya Rupa Abhinaya Guna, Nahin Koti Kam Samatulahu, Nahin Koti Kam Samatulahu. But Shrivansh Mahaprabhuji is saying that Shama Sham's Ati Lavanya Roop Abhinaya Guna, that the beauty, their loveliness, their roop, their forms, their abhinay, their expressions, the way they dance, their gun, their qualities, even koti kam nahi samatulahu, that there's not possible to even millions and millions of kamdevs, because in this world we become attracted to so many even small things. We think, wow, so beautiful. But even Koti Kamdevs and his spouse Rati, it doesn't compare to Shama Sham's beauty. This line I always try to remember because when I'm attracted to anything in this world, I think Mahaprabhu said this, and I'm thinking, wow, this is like just this line is one of my favorites. It just really brings it back to me that Shama Sham's beauty, their lavanya, their everything is beyond. It's really like a mantra for me to always remind me. So, Sri Hridrodasi Maharaj, he's also saying the same here. So then he says, Hemalata Phulan Sahit Lasat Chabili Bhati Naina Chit Chakchodi Rahe Shobha Kahi Na Jat. So he's describing Shri Vrindavan Dham. So then he must describe the beauty of latas. And as Priyansh said before the call, he said Lata Rani, the Queen Lata, because latas also should be given the nice, um, re- very much high respect. But the latas are the queens. So Lata Rani ji. So Hem Lata Phulan Sahit Lasat Chabili Bati. But there are latas, and they're as bright as, and effulgent as gold. Him. And they are not they have so many beautiful flowers adorning the latas, so they're in full bloom. And lasita chubili bati, but they're so much shining so beautifully. And if one were to see them, nain chite chakchodi rehe, shobha kahi na jaat. But the beauty of these hemlatas, these golden vines, it cannot be described. And when one sees them, the brightness is so dazzling that one becomes dazzled themselves. They become, you know. And then he describes the bees, the Brahmar. मत फिरत मधुपावली करत मधुर गुंजार मनहु मेघ अनुराग के गावत मंगल चार. Just as Mahaprabhuji, so many times he's describing the madhu, the Brahmar. So he's saying in such a Vrindavan Dham, which is full of so much greenery, so much intoxicating aromas and colors coming from the flowers, but these bees, they are matfirat, they are completely drunk and intoxicated by these fragrances, um, these latas which had so much beauty, and they're going around buzzing just as bees do. And manhu mega anuraga ke gavat mangal char, and it's like these bees are like they're like clouds. They're like an array of clouds or a mala of clouds, a garland of clouds, because they're all going in groups around to different latas, different flowers, and so on. And they are, but they're the flowers of what? Of anurag, of deep love, and they are singing songs, auspicious songs. Gavat mangal char. कुंज कुंज अति जल मले बनत न उपमान. कुंज कुंज अति जल मले बनत न उपमान. सोम सूर सत जोरिए होत न तो समान. Then he's describing the kunjas in general. He's saying every kunj ati jalamale. But these kunjas, they are they're also dazzling. They're also very bright, naturally glowing. Banatana upamaan. But even those I can't describe. Nothing, everything about Vrindavan is avarniya, meaning it cannot really be described in words. The Rasiks, they all, for what they're experiencing, their anubhav, they try their best through the words, even though these are divinely inspired words, but still is limiting. So every few moments, Sri Dhuvadasi Maharaj always expresses this point. He says, Som Sur Sat Joriye, Hot Nato Saman. That the divine glow, so the divine glow, the jyoti, the effulgence from these kunjas, even if you had millions and millions of som moons or sur, som sur sajoriye, but still you couldn't compare the brightness coming from these these kunjas. But it's not the type of brightness that will blind you and hurt your eyes, because everything in Vrindavan is pleasant, giving anand. So this is also something to also understand, that it's a type of the glow and the effulgence that will give you so much joy, so much bliss, just by seeing. रचना चित्र विचित्र दुती राजत परमर साल. रचना चित्र विचित्र दुती राजत परमर साल. जालर जल जनी जल की रही बिच बिच हीरा लाल. जालर जल जनी जल के रही बिच बिच हीरा लाल. So then he describes that these kunjas, they are also in the entrances to the kunjas, the entry points, the dwar, that there are very beautiful natural decorations hanging down as well. So he says there is a string of pearls. Jalar Jaljani. Jaljani means pearls. Jalar means like a string of pearls. And they're also very much shining. And in between them, then there are red rubies very much shining in the kunjas. So there's very beautiful decorations going on. We're very fortunate that we can have the darshan of at Hitkeli Kunj, the pictures, the photos we get, because you can see so many nice decorations like this. This is to give a nice impression sometimes of how the Sakhis decorate the kunjas. जमुना की छवि कहाँ कहो तहाँ न आनंद ठोर श्री जमुना की छवि कहाँ कहो तहाँ न आनंद ठोर मनहु दरयो सिंगार रस करी प्रवाह चहोर मनहु दरयो सिंगार रस करी प्रवाह चाहोर. So then his mind goes back to the glories of Sri Jamunaji, and he describes how I cannot describe the beauty of Sri Yamuna Rasarani, and that her pravaha, her flow is all around, all, in all four directions, all around Vrindavan Dham. She is flowing, and just her flowing is Anand Roop. It is that Anand itself, divine bliss itself, is flowing around Sri Vrindavan Dham. And actually, Hetari Mahaprabhuji, in his Yamanashtik, he says, व्रजेन्द्र सूनुराधिका हृदि प्रपूर्यमानयोर महारसाब्दिपूरयोरिवाति तीव्रवेगता बहिः समुच्चलन्नव प्रवाहरूपिणीमहं भजे कलिन्दनन्दिनीं दुरन्तमोहभञ्जिनीं भजे कलिन्दनन्दिनीं दुरन्तमोहभञ्जिनीं. He explains what is his vision of Sri Yamunaji. He says, the joy produced from the great ocean of ras, which flows very fast and completely fills the hearts of Sri Shama Sham, has sprung out and become her ever fresh, forever new flow. She is the destroyer of false attachment, which is very difficult to overcome. I offer my service, my seva to Sri Yamunaji, the daughter of the Kalind mountain. So he's explained here that Sri Yamunaji is actually liquid love. She's liquid prem. I like this term so much. This is a term which Sri Jagdananda Das ji uses. I think when he's describing Hidru Das ji's Vani as well on blog, he says Yamunaji is liquid love, and he uses that translation when he's reading our Rasik Vanis. So I always thought this is exactly a perfect way to describe it, because Sri Harivansh Mahaprabhu himself is saying that Shama Sham's prem, which is always like this within the heart, always ready to spill over, has spilled out, and it has become Sri Yamunaji, and this is her Sarup. In other Sampradayas, Yamunaji has different Sarup. She's also the one Swamini, so she is also one Premi, one beloved of Krishna. So she's also a Nayaka, and like in Pushti Maharaj, she's considered one of the Swaminis. But for us, in our Bhav and Nitya Vihar, she is liquid love, liquid prem, but she's the Shama Sham's prem for each other, and also she is a surgery as well. If we look in, especially hit Vrindavan Das Chachaji Maharaj's Vanis, he mentions how the Sakhi Yamunaji has a Sakhi Sroop, and she's serving Shama Sham as well. Also another Vanis, but I just remember this one right now, one pad, the way he mentions like this. So, oh, and then Mahaprabhuji, I was going to say Mahaprabhuji, but for me, Hidruv Das Ji is also Mahaprabhuji. He's also Mahaprabhuji, so it's not wrong for me to say Mahaprabhuji is saying. So Hidruv Das Ji Maharaj is saying, fully, he said, Manahu Daro Singaradas Kari Pravah Chavor. So he explains that it's like Shringaras itself flowing around, and this has a very special meaning, which I won't go too much into detail with, but in the Ras Shastra, the different rasas, they all have a color. So the hasya, the ras of laughter has a certain color, and other ones have different colors. And actually, Shringaras has the color of dark blue, just like Yamunaji. And this is how Hit Prem Das Ji Maharaj, when he's describing Shri Vanshi Sakhi's hair, he says it's like the Yamunaji and Shringaras. So he mentions like this. So Shringaras also has the color of dark blue. So this is also why he's saying here that the Yamunaji has this is full of Shringaras. फूली फूली रहे फूली के कमल सुरंग अनेक फूली फूली रहे फूली के कमल सुरंग अनेक हंस हंसिनी फिरत बिच निरतत के की केक हंस हंसिनी फिरत बिच निरतत के की केक. He's describing the beauty of Sri Jamanaji. He says in Sri Yamanaji there are so many different varieties of beautiful flowers. And he says the kamal, the lotuses, are of many different types, so many different types of beauty. And Priyalal, as we know in other Leelas, Priyalal, when they're doing Jalkeli Leelas in the water sports, and also when they're doing Nauka Vihar, sometimes they even jump outside of the Nauka, out of the boat, when they're doing their boating pastimes, and then they play amongst the lotuses, and they play amongst the flowers, and sometimes even when Kishoriji is looking into the flowers, see, she's smelling them maybe, or she's looking at the beauty of them very closely and inspecting them, but she's very inquisitive. So then Lalji sometimes dives down deep underneath the Yamunaji and then pulls her leg. So she thinks, who's caught my leg like this? And then she screams. So Lalji is doing so many leelas like this. So that's why also Yamunaji, because everything in Vrindavan is super conscious, not just conscious but super conscious and full of prem, and always trying to facilitate the leelas of Shama Sham. So Yamunaji is also many times, he knows that Kishoriji is very curious about the beauty of the forest. And this is why Hit Sajani always says things like Dekhavan ki baat Radhe, Dekhavan ki baat, and describing the fruits. Hit Sajani is saying, oh Radhe, look at the beauty of the forest, look at the fruits, look at the leaves, look at the flowers, and so many other things, because they know how much Vrindavan Dham, Sakhis, Lalji, they know how much Kishoriji loves the forest. And Jayesh was telling me once how these kunjas are so vast and they expand and so on that even so many times, even though they've been doing the Leela Anadikal since beginningless time, sometimes Kishoriji comes and Lalji come into the kunj and they think, we've never been here before. Oh, I didn't know Vrindavan was so big. So they're very astonished that Vrindavan's so big, it's never ending. So JSG was, I don't know which Vani he was saying from. He's my like Rasik mentor. Also Guru, he's also my Guruji. I have many Gurujis. Many are also here. And he was also explaining like this. Vrindavan is always forever trying to astonish Shama Sham with its beauty, with her beauty. So Kishoriji is going there and seeing, and Vrindavan is always manifesting so much more beauty. So then Hans Hansini Ferat Bitch Niratat Keki Cake. So if Priyaji is excited by these things, of course the birds will also be. So the Hans and the Hansinis, the male and the female swan, which are also Shama Sham, but also actual birds, they they're also always exploring um, the wonders and beauty of Vrindavan Dham. And the more keki cake, keki cake is a very Brajbasha word for the peacock and the peahen. So the male peacocks and the female peacocks. So they're also dancing around within Yamunaji, outside of Yamunaji on the banks, but also within the flowers as well, jumping from one lotus or flower to the other. So since we came to mention some birds, so now we will. I very much wanted to mention some leelas of bird leelas because not only should we take shelter of Shama Sham, Shivrindavan as well, but also the panchis, the birds of Shivrindavan. There's actually a very nice pada by Shri Haridam Vyasji, which Shamli sings very beautifully, and she's promised in another satsang she will definitely sing this. So it's Mohe apno kar लीजे मोहे अपनो कर लीजे खग मृग पशु पंछी यावन के चरण शरण रख लीजे चरण शरण रख लीजे. She sings this much more beautifully than I. But so this pad is Mohe apno kar lije, but it's saying to Kishori ji, to Lal ji, to Vrindavan, to the birds and the beasts, the deers and so on, that Khag Mriga Pashu Panchi Yavanake, birds, deer, the other animals, and so on, that you of the forest, all these animals of the forest, Charana Sharana Rakalije, that please give me the shelter of your lotus feet. Because these are no ordinary birds. In the Bom Vrindavan, in this Vrindavan on this earth, they are great sadhus and great rasiks. And in Nitya Vrindavan, they are the Nitya Parshads, and they also have, like we mentioned in last the Q&A session, but they also have Ali Bhav, Sakhi Bhav. So they're no ordinary birds and deer and so on. And so one time actually I found out one Goswami, his name is Jeevan Lal Goswami. He's the father of one Goswami who I spoke to in Shoti Sarkar. Radha Vallabh, the Goswamis there's like two sort of, you can say, families which are from two families. They all come from Ranchandra Mahaprabhuji. And one of the Goswamis, I forget his real name, but we call him affectionately Guddu Goswami, Shoti Sakara. And in his father, he was telling me how one time in Ras Mandal, he was giving katha. He gave katha for 4 weeks. 1 week he gave on Kishoriji, 1 week on Lalji, 1 week on Vrindavan, and 1 week just on the birds. So he just spoke one full week, many hours each day, just on the birds of the Nitya Vihar and their leelas. Unfortunately, this was before the time people recorded much, so we weren't able to get. But I want to inquire with him what his father said. So from that time, I also became very inspired to try to understand. Okay, so I'm gonna mention a little bit from Ananya Aliji's Maharaj's Vani. One of his Vani is Rajbhog Lila. So we'll see how the birds interact with Priyalal, how do they have Ali Bhav, Sakhi Bhav, and how they increase the joy of the Lila. I just need to find this Vani. Apologies. Rajbhog Lila is Does anyone have any questions while I'm looking? Ah, okay, I found. No questions. Let's go straight to the sweet things. So, in this Leela, Shama Sham are enjoying their Rajbhog, their main midday meal. And this is by far the most beautiful. I've read so many granthas, like Vanis from different acharyas, different sampradayas. This is like the most beautiful Rajbhog Leela. So much happens in this. It's not just them eating very simply. Just so much happens. It's very long, quite long. And I'm also translating this secretly behind the scenes, so this will be soon available. So in here, Shama Sham are taking their meal. Sakhis have made them, especially Champaklata Sakhi and her Sakhis. They've been preparing wonderful meals for Priya Pritam. And so, mm, Champaklata hasave khawave, Lalita batiya कहत रिजावे. So Champaklata, while Priyalala are eating, so Champaklata is feeding them, and she's also making them laugh and smile. So they so much enjoying themselves. Priyalal. Lalita batiyan कहते रिजावे. And Sri Lalita Jusaki, along with Champaklata Jusaki, she's also saying very having wonderful talks with them, so that Priyalal are feeling very joyous, very amused by the talks of Sri Lalita ji. रंगन रंग विहंगन आवे दंपति के चहु दिसी चपलावे. So then now some birds appear. It says Rangana Ranga Vihangana Ave, that so many different types of colorful birds come and they start flapping around, dancing around Dampatiju, the divine couple. हसी हसी विविध प्रसाद चुगावे पकड़न बोरी हाथ चलावे. हसी हसी विविध प्रसाद चुगावे पकड़न बोरी हाथ चलावे. So you just imagine the scene. These birds are dancing around Shipriya Lal, and Kishori ji being full of immeasurable grace, Kripa, she's Kripa Sindhu, she's so much Karuna Sindhu, Udarta, so much grace she has, and she is now she's giving them some of the prasad that the prasad that her and Priya Lala eating. So she's giving this to them, but what is she doing at the meantime? She's giving them, and when they come close, then she's trying to grab them as well. She's trying to catch the birds. So not only is she giving, but she wants to grab them because they're so beautiful. So Kishoriji, like I said earlier, she's always curious to to touch the flowers, experience all these things, so much beauty, so much sweetness, and so she's also trying to catch the birds when they come. So pakaran bori hata chalave, and the word he uses here for her is bori, the innocent one, yeah, Ananya Aliji Maharaj. And you'll know in this Leela later on why he calls her bori, why she's so innocent. तब खग तब खग खिलखिलात उड़ी जाई हसत लसत दो किलकाई. तब खग खिलखिलात उड़ी जाई हसत लसत दो किलकाई. So now she can't catch them though. As quick as she is, she's not able to catch them. So they give a shriek. They scream. The birds give out their shrieking. They're screaming out like I can't do a bird sound, but they shriek out, and then they fly away from her. But then they keep coming back, and she's trying to catch them. Because they're so much desirous to take Priyalal's prasad, but they're coming again and again, and she's trying to catch them, and she's not able to. And then they every time almost caught them, they run up, they fly away, but then they give out a shriek. And Shama Shama also enjoying this, and Hasata Lasata Do Kilakai. But Shama Shama also like screaming just as much as the birds are. So imagine the scene, they taking their meal, but then the birds come in and make more enjoyment. But the Sakhis are not the only ones that can do the seva. The Sakhis who have the form of a Sakhi, we are also Sakhis, so we will also give Priyalal joy. So then, बाल प्रसाद रसाल को लाल नलेत गाय खगहु पेते लेन को रसिक राय ललचाए. But Sri Lalji, so Lalji Maharaj, he he also becomes very desirous to take the prasadi of Kishoriji, because in the Nitya Vihar he only eats what Kishoriji has tasted first. He is only tasting this. So he says, Bala prasad rasal ko lalana leta agai. That he is not his hunger to taste Priyaji's prasadi is not becoming quenched, is not becoming satisfied. It's just increasing more and more that he wants to take the prasadi of Priyaji, what she's eating. So much so, so greedy Lalji is that Priyaji is giving him openly. She's not saying no, you can't have. She's giving him openly, but he also wants to take the little bit that she's giving to the birds. He's so greedy. He cannot share. He doesn't want to share even the little bit of the little pieces she's giving to the birds. Poor birds, they come to take a little bit of prasadi, and Lalji wants to take this as well from them. So khagahu pete lenako rasikarai lalchai. But even the ones that the khag, the birds are taking, rasikarai Sham Sundar lalchai. He's becoming greedy and desirous even for those. And then one bird, one mana pakshi. This is a minor bird. I'll show you actually what a minor bird. In this world, the minor bird looks like this. Can everyone see the screen? You see? This is a mana pakshi, minor bird. You have so many different types. They're all around the world. They're from India, but also many parts they've been introduced even to Kalyani ji's Australia. They're also there. No, you're Vrindavan Wali now, so I, my apologies to say you're Australia, you're Vrindavan, Aapka Vrindavan.
That's right. I was going to say the same that it's not my Australia.
I also said this on purpose because just to see if it comes out. This Abhiman of being Vrindavan Vasi comes out. No, not my Australia. This is my Vrindavan, Mero Vrindavan.
Australia's Vrindavan.
Uh-huh. So this Mena Pakshis, they what happens? One Mena Pakshi, one Mena bird, this minor bird. तब एक मैना सैनन कही दे प्रसाद जो पिय चही. One bird says to Kishori ji, hey, you give Lalji what he wants. You give him this prasad also. Like this bird is very generous. This one bird. It says, oh, you give even the ones us poor birds were getting a little bit of this prasad, but you give to no problem. Just give to Lalji because he's so greedy. He's so desirous. Don't give to us poor birds. And so जुगते ही सो सब खग हर्षावे बोलत रस जस बामनी बावे. Oh no. Actually, one line I missed. सहज ही अचरज देखो ओरे मुख में ते प्रिय डार्यो कोरे. This is a very beautiful line. And this shows why Ananya Aliji Maharaj doesn't just call this Rajbhog Lila. He calls it Rajbhog Vilas Lila. And all of his vanis, whether it's Nauka Lila, whether it's Julan Lila, he actually calls them, like he always puts the word Vilas into there because Shama Sham's Leelas are not complete without their Vilas, their divine amorous pastimes. And Jayasri Maharaj, he also told me this as well. He said, one, when they read Ananya Aliji's Vani, you will understand that the Nitya Vihar must have elements of Vilas even in every single Leela. Whether Shama Shama playing with the ball, wherever they're going for a walk, there's always Vilas going on. So what happens here? But the bird, as soon as the Maina bird, the minor bird, says to Priyaji, "You give this to Lalji." What happens is that um, Priyaji, she then gives the food, the prasad, straight from her mouth to Lalji's mouth. So she gives him a kiss, and then transfers the prasad, the food into his mouth. And this is just like also like the mother bird gives the actual to the bird, to the baby bird as well, directly in the mouth. So she is nourishing Lalji in all ways. Also sometimes like he's so much affection, like the affection, not like not as a mother, that mood, but the Vatsalya Sindhu she is. She's always giving so much Vatsalya, so much nourishment to him. So she gives him like this. And when the bird sees this, it says, Acharaj dekho ore. But the bird is like completely astonished, because we don't get like this. And Lalji's getting directly from the kiss, he's getting the Kishorji's prasad. चुगते ही सो सब खग हर्षावे बोलत रस जस बामिनी बावे. So these birds, but they become very desirous as well, and what they notice is that Lalji is in so much ecstasy that when he receives the prasad like this from Kishoriji, he actually isn't able to keep it all within his mouth, and some crumbs fall down. So the birds, they come so quickly flying down, and then they take this prasad, and then they put it into their mouths. And when they actually take this prasad from Kishoriji's, which has come from Kishoriji's mouth to Lalji's mouth through the kiss, and then has fallen down, then what do they do? Bolat ras jas bamini bave. But they go in so much bhav, and then they sing the ras jas, the glories, the ras of Bamini Ju, of Shirada. And this name actually, this is a very, for me this is like a secret. One of the names that Shri Harivansh Mahaprabhuji likes so much of Radha is Bamini. If you look in his Hicharasi, so many times he uses the word Bamini. Now, for anyone who's not noticed this, if you look, you'll see Bamini he uses so much. And we can talk about the meaning another time, but it's a very deep meaning. But he uses this word so much, so it's very actually a beautiful name that he uses, very dear to him. मैना ने सो जूठन लीनी रसिक लाल के मुख में दीनी. But then some words they become again very udar, very generous, and then so they put it back into Lalji's mouth. What he had dropped from his mouth, they come and then they put it back into his mouth. That you're the greedy one, so you must take all of this amrit. कृत कृत धनि धन प्यारो मारे कहत निहाल निहाल बखाने. That Sham Sundar, he becomes so blissed out, so joyous, and krit krit, so feeling so fortunate. Dani dani pyaro mane. But pyaro, the beloved Sham Sundar Lalji, he considers himself so fortunate. And then he even starts saying, I am so happy. He even starts saying it, not that he needs to, but kaheta nihal and nihana bakane. But he actually starts saying it, but oh, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. Then Kishoriji, seeing all of this, she can't hold her laughter behind, and so she sometimes when we laugh and we're feeling a bit shy and so on, some sort of expressions, we also maybe want to hide our laughter. So when she sees this, hasat mor mukh acharaj mane khag ke kautak kaun bakhane. That Kishoriji turns her face like this and starts laughing privately like this, and who can accurately describe the different plays of the birds? They are always doing some very loving leelas, so many wonderful leelas for the pleasure of Shipriya Pritam. And here something very beautiful takes place now. So at this point, मैना को पकड़न प्रिया चही उड़ी बैठी द्रुम पर सुख लही मैना को पकड़न प्रिय चही उड़ी बैठी द्रुम पर सुख लही मैना को प्रतिबिंब लसावे गीव कटोरी में दर्शावे that the birds, this maina, one particular maina bird, Kishoriji tries to catch it again, and then this bird, it flies up onto the branch of a nearby tree, and so when she's catching this bird, when she's trying to catch this bird, so it goes to the top of the tree, and the pratibimb, the reflection of the tree of the bird is in the tree is actually in the because when Shama Shama was eating there were so many different katoris, different bowls, and one of the bowls was full of golden ghee, so very beautiful golden ghee butter. So when the bird flew up into the sky and landed on the branch, the bird's reflection was now inside the bowl of ghee. And this is actually one phenomena which happens in Sri Vrindavan Dham. The Rasikacharyas have called this a very important term to remember, abhirupata. So it's called abhirupata. And abhirupata is basically where something reflects in another object. You can even say in a mundane way where you might have a see-through ball, and when you place it against the sky, it's blue. When you place it against like my hair, it'll be black, and against my top, it'll be red. So it's basically where the color or something of another object is reflecting on another object. So this is the way it happens in the mundane world, in this world. But actually in Vrindavan Dham, it can happen in very amazing ways. And as we always like to go back to Sri Harivansh Mahaprabhuji's Vani, in his Vani he also mentions this. He mentions, I'll just find the verse. Ha. We were just singing this in Sanji Utsav. Ban ki Lila लाल ही बावे बन की लीला लाल ही बावे पत्र प्रसून बीच प्रतिबिंब ही पत्र प्रसून बीच प्रतिबिंब ही नकशिक प्रिया जनावे नकशिक प्रिया जनावे बन की लीला लाल ही बावे. So Shri Harivansh Mahaprabhuji and his hit Churasi, he says Lalji loves the plays of the forest. Ban ki leela lal hi bave. Well, Lalji loves these leelas of the forest. Then it says in his next line he explains that Kishoriji's beauty, her whole form, from her toes to her head, her whole form is reflecting in the leaves and the the nature of Vrindavan Dham. And so Lalji in this pad, which I think I have translated, where he goes looking for her and he can't find her. So this is the phenomena of Abhirupata when everything is reflecting everywhere else. So in this lila, the bird is on the branch, and this bird is reflecting in the ghee ki katori, in the bowl of ghee, in the butter. So then Kishori ji becomes very excited, and she's thinking very quickly now. So maina ko pratibimb lasawe, ghee katori mein darsawe. Tin par kar tal daryo bori, chitvat piyatan hasatan athori. So then she very quickly sees the reflection so quick, puts her hand over the butter, over the bowl of butter, the ghee, and then she looks at Lalji like so happy and amazed. Look, like she's like so excited, like Chetavata Piyatan Hasatana Thori, but she cannot stop laughing. Tori, not Tori, but she's not able to stop her joy or laughter because she thinks, look Lalji, I've caught the bird, but I've been trying to catch for so long. And here again, Ananya Aliji Maharaj used the word Bori, meaning she is very innocent, very simple-minded. And so then, what happens then? Hit Sajani, who is the Nij Sakhi, or so many names she has, Hit Sajani sees this, and she resolves the situation. So, Chutkin so Nij Sakhi ne, Maina Prakat Urai. Chutkin so Nij Sakhi ne, Maina Prakat Urai. वचन रचन प्रिय सो कहे मंद मंद मुस्काए वचन रचन प्रिय सो कहे मंद मंद मुस्काए. So here the Nij Sakhi, Hit Sakhi, she does this. I hope you can hear this. So she clicks her fingers and she makes the bird fly away. The Maina Prakaturai. And then she starts speaking sweet words to Priyaji with a very serene and beautiful smile. I remember at this point I was so excited. JSG was explaining this Vani to me, and I was so excited. I said, "Why did she do this?" And he goes, "Listen, I'm telling you what's happening. So just have patience." I was so excited to know. I was so confused at this point myself because I didn't understand what was happening. I said, Why is she making it fly away?" And he told me to have patience. So Hit Sajani then says to Kishoriji, very much smiling, with a great big smile, she says, "Muryo kahan? Muryo kahan? मैं पकड़ी मैना हम हो देखे अपने नैना." So she says, "Oh, Kishoriji, what did you catch in the bowl of butter? Why are you looking so excited? Muryo kahan? What is in there?" And then Kishoriji is so bubbling with excitement, so much happiness. She says, "मैं पकड़ी मैना." I have caught the bird. मैं पकड़ी मैना. And then she says, "हम हु देखे अपने नैना." But I have seen this with my own eyes. But I have caught the bird. So you can imagine Hitsaki's also laughing so much inside. But oh, she is so body. She is so innocent, simple-minded. Because when it comes to Bhagwan or Kishoriji, the two contradictory qualities can exist in her. Gurudev and Gurudev Bhagwan and the Rasiks, they all say that Kishoriji is Param Chatur. She's the most intelligent, the most clever. I forget the line. It's Yadyapi Chatur, Fair Bi Bori, something like this, where even though she is completely,
Yes.
what's that? Maybe you remember?
Yadyapi Chatur Paramati Bhori, something like that.
Yeah. This is it. Yeah, I forgot the exact line, but it's like this. That even though she is very intelligent, very smart, very quick-witted, still she has this innocence about her, this simple-mindedness, which also manifests at different times for the sake of the Lila. This is her subhav, her nature. So, Muryo kahan? What have you captured? मैं पकड़ी मैना हम हो देखे अपने नैना. But I have caught this bird and I have seen it with my own eyes. Oh Hit Sajni. Then तब कर तल प्रिय लो उठाई घृत में देखी सकची सकुची मसुकाई. मैना को प्रतिबिंब ही जान्यो हसत लसत छवि सुख उर्मान्यो. So then Kishori ji takes her beautiful palms, kartal, from the Giv ki katori, the bowl of butter, and she sees she sees inside, and then she's feeling a little bit embarrassed, sakuchi, musukai, but she smiles in a bit of embarrassment. But oh, I know what's happened. I didn't catch any bird. Then she knows, maina ko pratibimba hi janyo, hasata lasata chavi sukha urmanyo. But then she understood that this was just the reflection of the maina bird. And then she's laughing and smiling so much about this, feeling embarrassed, and that her beauty at this time is is something very wonderful. So then Shri Hitananil Aliji Maharaj says, "Kaha kaho so roop chhavi, जेहि रस रही लुभाए रस समुद्र उमरे चले पिय के ही न समाए रस समुद्र उमरे चले पिय के ही न समाए." But what can I say of this roop, this beauty of Shri Kishori ji? That this Jehi Ras Rehi Lubai, that one can just stay completely absorbed in this one scene, this one picture of her beauty, and that the Ras Samudra, the ocean of Ras, also flows over, bubbles over in the heart of Piya, Piya Lalji, the beloved, and Hiyana Samai, that it cannot be contained in his heart. So this is the Lila of the one of the bird Leelas from Rajbhog Vilas Lila. I'm just going to check the time. Uh, there is also another Leela as well, which is also about the a bird, a Maina bird. Very extraordinary Leela. Very extraordinary. I think now we are 1 hour 10 minutes into this. How much time? We won't be able to go for the whole Leela. That's for sure. This Leela is very long. What do you prefer? Shall I start the other Leela, or shall I like for maybe 10 minutes just to introduce it, and then we can complete it next time, or should we leave it until next time completely?
Sri Harivans, I have to run to the school because I have to take my kids.
Acha, 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 acha. Okay, 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 okay. Then we do
That's
next
it.
time then, yeah? With I wanted everyone to be present if possible. What do you think?
Okay.
I
Thank
also
you so much.
believe too.
Okay, ठीक है. Okay, then we'll definitely continue next time. But I hope this was very wonderful for everyone. Yeah, yes, everyone.
Sri Harivans, thank you so
Everyone.
much. Thank
No
you so
problem.
much for sharing Lilas
Yeah,
with us.
no problem.
Thank you.
We can have a little question and answer session if anyone has any questions about this.
Bye bye, Sri
Everyone,
Harivans.
everyone,
Very well.
everyone. Everyone had any questions, any doubts, or everything is fine?
Could you tell again who wrote this Rajbhog Lila? Vilas Lila?
This was written by one Rasik called Ananya Aliji. So Ananya Ali means this Sakhi who is completely one-pointed. So Ananya Aliji. I will tell a little bit more about Ananya Aliji another time as well. We can go through his biography a little bit. A very extraordinary life. Okay. Okay. Everyone else good? Shamali, Vinayji, Priyansh, Kalyani Didi.
All good. I missed the I missed 10 minutes in the beginning.
Oh, no problem. It's recorded, so we will I'll share it tonight or tomorrow. Okay? Okay, guys. We-
Thank you so much.
No problem.
See
Jai
you.
Jai Shri Vansh. Shri Vansh. See you again soon.